Corner. Our two number one trolls.
This is TimeOut Corner, and you are in the corner. I forgive you. TimeOut Corner forgives you. I forgive thee. You see, people, I forgive you because I understand now. TimeOut Corner understands now that it is a sickness. People just don't understand. People are gullible. I understand that people can't help it. You know, it's an addiction. People have to jump on that bandwagon. That people have to jump on that hate wagon. You know, they just have to do it. But unfortunately, this time around, as usual, it just wasn't in this game's benefit, I guess you can say, to be on the hate wagon. Straight Street Fighter L people just wasn't going to be a game to be hated on. It wasn't on that hate train. It wasn't the hype to hate Street Fighter. It wasn't the thing. It wasn't the trend. But I'm here to let you people know, it's okay. I forgive you for being hypocrites. And I'm not going to bash you for being hypocrites. Why? Because it's already been done and nobody cares. It's over with. No biggie, no biggie. I'm here to teach anyways. And of course I'm going to compare this to Splatoon. Why not? It's already been done and it's no need to reinvent the wheel. Easy comparison. Easy. So why not do it? Obviously, the comparison is people complained about Splatoon. They were going crazy. They were going bat crazy for Splatoon because of, the content that, was releasing with it. Now, Street Fighter comes out way worse in condition, not even close. And those same people are nowhere. No, I mean, we had people going berserk. They are nowhere. Matter of fact, I've seen some people who didn't even mention Street Fighter L like it was an issue. They just like it wasn't even an issue. Like it wasn't. They bought like the platinum edition, whatever they had. It's like wow, you didn't even okay. But again, that's not what this video is about. They've already been hammered or whatever. They're in a fetal position. They're hiding behind the bushes. They don't want to be seen. They're letting it slide. They're letting it go. But again, we know why. Because Street Fighter was not picked to be hated on. It's not one of those games. And that's usually the case when it's not a Nintendo game. Let's be honest. But one thing I want to point out though that I don't think nobody really understands looks at though, which is one of the things to me when talking about gaming, all right, to me gaming is one thing to where not just gaming actually, and here's where the Time Out Corner is here to teach. I'm not here to bang on you, you gullible people. I'm not here to bang on, the baby, the Huggies, the big baby diaper force. I'm not here to do that today. I'm just here to teach. And I'm gonna make another video soon to explain the hypocrisy and the hypocrisy flowchart. Yes, the hypocrisy flowchart and why things are how they are with Nintendo fans. Why people think Nintendo fans are hypocrites, but honestly, for the most part, they're really not hypocrites. I'm gonna explain that in another video. But for now, we're gonna dive deeper into something a little. I guess I'm done with Street Fighter L. Street Fighter L was more of just saying, hey, you guys have a sickness. You like jumping on the hate wagon. We see it now. When it's a trend to hate something, we see it now that you like to jump on that trend. I see it clearly now. So I forgive you for being sick, for being addicted, to L. You're addicted to L. She's addicted to D. You're addicted to L. I can give her the D, and I can give you the L. It's a win-win situation. I like giving the D, and I like giving the L's. So it's a win-win, I get. I try, people. I try. Anyways, hey. How about? Hey, look at that. LBX got an L in it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, shout out to LBX, man. I'll make that video one of these days. Woo! Hey, but yo, but yeah. So I forgive you, people. for, like I said, it's a sickness. People don't understand. Again, people like to jump on that hate wagon. All right, and this Street Fighter L just wasn't a chosen game to be hated on. It's not the trend to do that. And the main reason is because it's not a Nintendo game, and that's pretty much the only reason why, really. That's pretty much it. But anyways, what I like to say though is what I was getting at is one thing I do not like and I hate is when not just game companies, when companies for any industry deceive the consumers. Now, I don't consider I don't consider this as bad as when a company lies to consumers. That to me, that's just the ultimate, one of the ultimate, no-nos for companies. That makes me go, ah. Deceiving is, you're borderline, beyond shady. But deceiving in the sense of to where, you know what was going on with the game, but you didn't make it aware. You didn't make it, known fact. And that's one thing with Nintendo. Put it this way. Let's break this down to make it more simple, all right? When Nintendo announced Splatoon, as far as more details about the game, what the game's going to release with, it was well in advance before the game came out, right? Because let's not forget when more details released about it, what was going to release with it, we have people well in advance before the game came out, weeks in advance, months in it, a month, 2 months in advance. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that time frame. I'm not sure exactly. Well, it was at least about a month before the game came out, minimum, where people were boycotting the game, calling and saying the game should be canceled and all this other crazy stuff. It was crazy. It was saying the game wasn't going to sell. It was berserk. It was crazy. But one thing people knew though, that it was going to release like that, well in advance, giving people enough time to make their decision when the game came out. People made decisions to say, I'm not going to buy the game until later. People were able to make that decision with enough time to think about it, without being fooled into pre-ordering. But a lot of other companies don't let these consumers know until it's too late. Some companies say, yeah, we let you know, but they told some dude in Russia on the border of Kyrgyzstan, who's traveling, who doesn't have any type of contacts to any type of news agencies, who doesn't even game, and they let that guy know and say, hey, we told Bob in the back of the alley. How do you not know that this game is going to be released like this? Like, huh? Nintendo comes straight out and tells you it's going to be like this. We're going to have this in the game. Way in advance to give you time to say, to me, I like that. They're letting me know what's up. These other companies, they'll release the game and tell you the day after you buy it. Oh, by the way. Splatoon, no voice chat. Well in advance before it came out. Not having this well in advance before it came out. Street Fighter L. What happened? When did you let people know that it was going to be like? Was it 2 months in advance? Was it a month in advance? Somebody let me know. I don't know, but I'm guarantee you it wasn't, because if it was, people would have been talking about it back then in advance. Not wait and not know about it a month or 2 months in advance and then finally come out to mention it right before it comes out. That's not how it works. It would have been mentioned way before that. What's that game? Evolve? Yeah. Again. Now Evolve, I think they gave you some leeway, but they were sort of shady with it. They didn't really release the information. They sort of hinted towards something, but I think they gave you some leeway though. But they didn't, I think they tried to do right by letting people know, but people just weren't having it either way. But some of these other companies though, like Street Fighter shows, they just, a lot of times they don't let you know until it's too late. Not too late, but who had ever thought Street Fighter would have been like this? Nobody. They let you know, at the last minute. But to me, that's deceiving the gamers, and to me, that's a big no-no. But people, that's all I gotta say for that. Is that Nintendo, say what you want to say. They give you enough time to make sure that you're aware of what's going on with the games before they're released. Whether you agree with it or not, they give you ample time to say, hey, I don't want that because of this or that, whatever, you know. And that's one thing I have to say I like about. And another thing I like to say about Nintendo is they. It doesn't seem like they try to deceive the gamers. Um, they. It seems like they try to put as much information as they think they need to give you and they want to give you out to where you won't feel like you've been blindsided, you know. And I like that, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, every game for any company you should respect that and like that. Now, some of these gamers, you know, they'll accept being lied to, and you know, just as long as it fits their agenda and it allows them to be part of that group or whatever their group they're following on in gaming, you know, whatever. Anyway, so this is Time Out Corner. Street Fighter L. I went off a little tangent, but like I said, I didn't want to spend all this video bashing, you know, those game hypocrites. Like I said, I feel sorry for them because they just don't you know, you know, what do you do when you take L's? What do you do? You can't just, you know, you can't just go around and just bashing people all the time just because, you know, they don't understand sense. They don't understand logic. You know, you can't just do that. You have to talk to these people. You gotta let them understand. Hey, this company deceived you.